MediaTek has officially confirmed that it will use Intel's advanced packaging technology, EMIB-T. I don't see this as a story about Intel beating TSMC or losing to it. I see it as a sign that the world of advanced packaging is shifting from a race for performance to a race for supply. Why would you deliberately secure a route outside TSMC? Today, let's dig into what's really behind this news. Hello everyone, I'm Ty, with 31 years in the semiconductor industry. By the end of this video, you'll understand why MediaTek chose Intel's technology as a second route instead of relying on TSMC alone for packaging, and what that means for the industry map. Let's get started. As always, let's start with something familiar. Imagine a hugely popular premium lunchbox brand. The cooking is handled by a top-class kitchen, and the taste is the best in the business. But a lunchbox isn't finished when the food is cooked. Someone still has to arrange it neatly in the box, put the lid on, and get it ready to ship. That final packing step is normally left to a specialist packing plant, and there is effectively only one plant that can do the very best packing work. The quality is beyond question. The problem is that lunchboxes are booming right now, and orders from the big chains are all pouring into that single plant. As a result, its booking sheet is full far into the future, and anyone placing a new order is told to wait 6 months. No matter how good your food is, if nobody packs it, it never reaches the shelf. Miss your selling window, and all the sales in that period simply vanish. In the middle of a boom, that hurts even more. That's where a second packing plant, run by a different company, comes in. Its packing style is a little different, but the finished quality is more than competitive, and it still has room in its schedule. Shipping the food further away adds some work, but you now have a second route that gets your product out when it matters. The key point isn't which of the two packing plants is better. It's whether you can secure, with your own hands, the ability to ship when the selling window opens. What the company at the center of today's news did was exactly this. It secured a second lane. From here, let's look at how that simplified story plays out on the real industry floor. MediaTek is a major Taiwanese chip design company. It's best known for the chips inside smartphones, but in recent years it has pushed hard into custom AI chips for data centers, the so-called AI ASICs. And on its July 31st earnings call, MediaTek officially confirmed that it will adopt Intel's advanced packaging technology, EMIB-T, for one of those AI ASIC projects. EMIB is Intel's own proprietary technology. It connects multiple chips to each other using a small silicon bridge embedded inside the package substrate. In the derivative version, EMIB-T, vertical power delivery paths are added through that bridge, which improves both power efficiency and signal routing. It can link logic chips, HBM memory, and I/O chiplets together at high density. The mainstream option in this field is TSMC's CoWoS. As demand for AI chips expands, CoWoS capacity has become a serious constraint, and everyone is scrambling to lock in production slots. This adoption shows that AI ASIC makers are starting to take a strategy that doesn't depend on TSMC alone for packaging supply. In fact, MediaTek executives had already said back in May that they could offer customers both CoWoS and EMIB. What's new this time is that top management officially confirmed a specific technology name, EMIB-T. There have also been reports that it's being considered for custom AI chips for Google, but MediaTek has not officially confirmed any customer names. This news tends to be framed as a showdown, with Intel breaking into TSMC's fortress. But what I'm watching is somewhere else. MediaTek keeps its close relationship with TSMC in the front end, where the chips themselves are made, while making only the back end, the assembly side, no longer dependent on TSMC alone. That combination of front and back is, to me, the real point here. Honestly, when I first heard this, it struck me as odd. If the logic die is made at TSMC, the natural thing is to finish it with TSMC's CoWoS. Shipping an expensive finished die outside Taiwan adds logistics risk and makes it harder to assign responsibility and analyze failures when defects appear. There has to be a reason to do it anyway. Now, let's compare them on the technical side. EMIB-T is a lightweight structure that puts silicon only in the places where it's actually needed. TSMC's CoWoS-L, on the other hand, combines local silicon with a wide redistribution layer, which gives it far more design freedom. Each one has its strengths and its weaknesses. EMIB-T has a slight edge on warpage and silicon usage, while CoWoS-L wins on flexibility for complex layouts. Neither one simply replaces the other. So what was the deciding factor? I believe it was supply capacity. CoWoS capacity is being expanded rapidly, but demand is growing even faster, with NVIDIA, AMD, Broadcom, and the cloud provider's own AI chips all fighting over advanced packaging. For a cloud operator, a 6-month product delay while waiting for a CoWoS slot is hard to accept. That loss is far bigger than the cost of shipping dies abroad. MediaTek says it expects around $2 billion in data center revenue in 2026 and aims to capture 10 to 15% of a custom AI ASIC market estimated at $70 to $80 billion in 2027. My read is that the goal is to keep its own product roadmap from being held hostage by CoWoS booking schedules by securing a second route from the earliest design stage. From Intel's side, I think the significance is just as large. Even without winning the front-end foundry work, advanced packaging gets Intel into the supply chain for TSMC-made dies. There are reports of 90% yield and costs 50% below CoWoS, but I haven't found primary sources that confirm them. To me, the value of supply capacity matters far more than a lower unit price. If I had to sum up the essence in one line, EMIB-T is not a technology that defeats CoWoS-L. It's a technology that creates a second production lane at a time when CoWoS is being filled up by AI chips. When performance is a trade-off either way, what decides the outcome isn't technical elegance. It's how many units you can deliver, when they're needed, and at what price. That's where the axis of competition is moving. Let me wrap up. On its July 31st earnings call, MediaTek officially confirmed its adoption of Intel's EMIB-T. It keeps a close relationship with TSMC in the front end, while the back end no longer depends on TSMC alone. Even at the cost of shipping expensive dies, the strategy is to hold 2 production lanes. The deciding factor wasn't lower cost, it was the supply capacity to never miss a selling window. Advanced packaging, too, is starting to shift from a race for performance to a race for supply. I take this news as a sign of exactly that turning point. Whether other AI chip designers make the same move and how CoWoS and EMIB-T come to be used side by side is something I'll keep watching closely. That's all for today. I'll keep bringing you semiconductor news and analysis, so if you found this useful, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. This has been Ty on Semiconductor News Decoded.